What to do when you're planning for an eclipse. So probably the most important thing you can have for an eclipse, like if you're only going to buy one thing, you should get yourself a pair of eclipse glasses. And so they don't look like much. They look like just a piece of cardboard with some aluminum foil in it. I promise you it's not aluminum foil. This is actually a very specific foil that blocks out like 99.999% of the light that would go into your eyes. And they're safe for solar viewing. You want to make sure you buy them from a reputable place. Find a good online retailer. Don't just use Amazon. Thousand Oaks Optical made these. They're a well-known manufacturer of optical equipment. And anything that you buy, make sure that it carries an ISO certification to be safe for solar light. So there's a specific specification you want to look for. But these are your number one thing. And these you'll wear anytime that the sun isn't completely blocked. So if it's a partial eclipse or if it's not quite into totality yet, you got to have these to keep your eyes safe. If you're going to step up from there, let's say that you're a photographer, they do make the exact same thing, but in filter sizes. So this is, again, that same kind of foil that's in these eclipse glasses. You want to be careful with these. They're very, very delicate. And if they are scratched or punctured in any way, don't use them. Just get another pair, get another filter. So that's something that you can use. If you get one that's as big as your biggest lens, you can then get step up or step down rings to attach it to other lenses on your camera. If you want to try and look at it with a telescope, they make ones that will actually go on a telescope. Again, that same kind of filter material that's in there. And anytime you look through these, when you're looking at the sun, it will give you a view it's a little bit orangey red because it's trying to block out the wavelengths that would harm your eye. And it just gives it a nice kind of warm cast. It looks really good. The other thing you can get is filters, again, specifically for a camera. This is essentially a really, really strong neutral density filter. This happens to be like an ND 10,000 filter, might be 100,000. It's a lot of zeros. This is fundamentally different from these. This is essentially like really, really strong sunglasses. I'm not saying buy really strong sunglasses. That's not what I'm saying. But this will block out, again, the vast majority of the light. And that's safe for a camera. You wouldn't want to use one of these with just your eye. Only use this on a camera. These you could look through with your eye. They're just a big version of the solar sunglasses, the eclipse glasses, excuse me. If you want to step up a little bit, like each of these is slightly more expensive than the last one that I held up. But if you want to go real expensive, I can get yourself a pair of solar binoculars or a solar telescope. These happen to be manufactured by Celestron. They're a well-known telescope brand. And these, you can actually look at the sun directly with these binoculars. I did it just the other day in my office because there was a beautiful sunspot that was on the sun. But these, the lenses look like they're black. And they are useless for looking at anything other than the sun. It's just way too dark. So these are a great thing to have. These are probably going to run you $100 to $200 to get a pair of solar binoculars. But they're a fun thing to have even when it's not an eclipse time, right? So that's kind of a cool thing to have. Incidentally, on any of these, I really recommend testing them before you use them on the sun. And the way I do that is I'll take my solar glasses, and if I want to make sure that they're still good, that I haven't scratched or damaged them in any way, I'll find the brightest light bulb in my house, put them on, and stare at the light bulb. And if I can't see it, they're still good. And so then I can take them outside and do what I want to do. But if you want to go the real DIY route, we'll just set all of this stuff to the side. If you have a cardboard box and you have a pair of scissors and some adult supervision, you can make yourself a pinhole camera or a pinhole projector. So I have one over here that's partially built, made with a random box I found in my office. And so what I've done is I've cut two holes. There's the empty hole that you're going to look through, and then the hole over here has some aluminum foil over it. And the aluminum foil, I've taken a pin and made a tiny hole right in the center of that aluminum foil, and then I just taped it to the inside of the box. And on the other side of the box, like the opposite side, I've taped on a piece of white paper. And so then you'll just close it all up and you'll point this end at the sun and you'll look through this end. So you're kind of looking over your shoulder at the sun, and it will project a little disk of the sun on the inside of the box, and it's safe to look at. while the eclipse is going on. You can actually look at it while not the eclipse is going on. This is perfectly safe pretty much any time of year to do that sort of thing. So you can watch as the sun gets more and more and more blocked. Now, if you're in totality, you can stop using this as soon as totality occurs. So this is one method of making a pinhole projector. Another method that you'll see, and there are lots of online tutorials for making pinhole projectors. I made a second one with another box. The longer the box is, the bigger the image you get. So here's one where I have just the hole for the foil, and then over on the side, I've cut a little flap. And so you're looking into the flap at the projection that's on the far side of this box. And so the longer the box is, the bigger the image of the sun you're gonna get. So try and get a long, skinny box to do this sort of thing, but I mean, it doesn't have to be enormous. But right now is the perfect time to like look around your house and see if you've got, you know, your empty Amazon boxes or whatever's been shipped to you. Find one that's suitable, grab some tape, grab some aluminum foil and just go to town. And it's a great way to get a DIY project that lets you view the sun safely.